Hey crew, it's Alan Burt from Blue Stout back, and I want to talk to you about how do you start conversion rate optimization testing on your store. Get this question all the time. Everybody wants to test everything. They want to understand how it's going to affect their conversion rates. They want to know what to test to start. So what I want to cover today and talk to you a little about is where do you begin? If you want to start doing conversion rate optimization testing, where do you begin and what should you start testing first? And I want to give you a framework for just how to do that. And again, if you have any questions about anything we talked about in the video today, go to bluestout.com/strategy. You can book a strategy call with myself or someone from the team. If you have questions about CRO, if you have questions about doing testing, if you think that your site is a good candidate to run through a CRO analysis, let us know. We'll help you think through what you should start testing first. So to begin, the caveat is every store is different, right? Every store has different metrics. Every store has something different that is performing well. Every store has something different that is not performing well. So you have to assess this on a store-by-store basis, on a brand-by-brand basis to determine what is worth testing and what is not worth testing. And we can talk more about that in a later video. But what I want to do today is at least give you a framework for where to start and where to start thinking about what is worth testing and what is not worth testing. So to begin, the very first thing you should be focusing on if you want to improve overall store conversions is product desirability. So anything that you can do to improve overall product desirability is a change that you are going to want to make on your store to help improve conversions. Right? You hear about people doing CRO testing and changing things like button colors or sort of minor changes to layout. And those things have their place, and yes, they can be effective, but the overwhelming amount of leverage that you're going to get from focusing on product desirability is where you should be spending your time. So when I talk about product desirability, we're talking about things like imagery. We're talking about things like storytelling, copy, videos, overall positioning of like lifestyle photography that connects with your customer and helps them visualize and essentially visualize themselves living a better version of their life with your product, right? So anything that you can do that enhances the overall product desirability from your customer is gonna be the very first thing that you'll wanna start implementing to improve conversion rates and then ultimately be testing through CRO. The second big framework and the second set of sort of brainstorming that you should be doing to determine what to test is reducing friction. So anything that reduces friction on the side of your customer, so getting them from point A to point B faster and easier is going to help improve conversions. And so when we talk about friction, we're talking about, again, messaging, communication, people understanding exactly what it is that you're telling them, whether it's about the product, whether it's about the processes that they're going to be going through for shipping and returns, warranties, anything on those lines, but then also friction around usability. So, the sort of the best sort of example of reducing friction would be navigation designs, right? And designing, for example, mega menus or better mobile menus that make it much easier to find product, or improving search and the positioning of search on your site so that customers can find products much easier. Overall mobile navigation on things like product pages and collections pages, making it easier to view more product and quickly toggle between products. Anything that is going to reduce that customer's friction of shopping with you is also going to help improve your overall conversion rates. So if you're thinking about doing any type of CRO testing or any type of conversion optimization of any kind, the two places to begin with are, first, how can you improve product desirability? And brainstorming specifically for your brand, for your product, how can you improve desirability? And then secondly, where in your store can you reduce friction? And again, if you have any questions on this, if you want us at Blue Stout to actually take a look at your store and help you brainstorm some ideas yourself, go to bluestout.com/strategy. We'll book a call, we'll take a look at your store, we'll talk through your metrics, and we'll see where you can actually start to improve your product desirability, also start to reduce friction, and see if it makes sense to start testing on your store as well. One of the things we always tell our clients that we work with is there's really two stages to conversion rate optimization. The first is just filling the gaps, right? The analogy I always use is you're building a Formula One race car, and there's a time to fine tune the engine, and there's a time just to make sure you've got all four tires on the car. Most stores and most clients we work with typically are missing a tire. There's typically something huge in their purchase funnel and their customer journey that they are missing that's holding conversion rates back, and they need to fill that first and immediately. And then once they have all those tires in place, all the tires in the car, they've got all the elements of the purchase funnel in place, then it makes sense to go through and start to do more refined A/B testing on very specific elements of that purchase funnel, very specific messaging, positioning, sometimes layouts, Depends a little bit on the brand. But that would be my recommendation to start is first off, understand where you're missing the mark on product desirability, where you're missing the mark on reducing friction, and then fill those gaps first, and then start doing testing after that.